Okay, hi everybody, or hi to people who are watching this in the future, and hello to Maria and to Issy. My name is Alison Fiddler. I'm Director of Postgraduate Studies in Languages and Cultures, and Maria and Issy have very kindly come along today from wherever they are to chat about doing a PhD in our department and what it's been like for them so far. And you're both at very different stages, I know. But perhaps I could just kick off by asking you, why did you choose Lancaster? What were the factors that you had to weigh up in choosing where to study, and indeed who your supervisor was going to be? Can I start with you, Maria?
Yeah. Hi, Alison. I think one of the main factors that I chose Lancaster is its prestige and the fact that it's in the top 10 universities consistently in the past, in the past few years. So definitely that was like a big determining factor. And also in terms of the supervisor, when I was in the very initial stages of my, trying to find a PhD, I tried to find the people that would be closer to my research interests, and then just take it from there, send out some emails, and I ended up very grateful with the supervisor I am at the moment.
Okay. Thank you. Issy, how did you decide to stay on?
Well, I was going to say, actually, a large part of my decision in doing my PhD at Lancaster was having a really good undergraduate and a really good master's experience at Lancaster University. I felt I'd already built up a rapport with my supervisor from my master's, who then luckily decided to supervise my PhD as well. And so, honestly, the fact that I ended up in a department that both was very prestigious from a national point of view, also was a centre of excellence for my specific research interests, I think I just got quite lucky in the end. Okay. So yeah, it was really a no-brainer.
So it was, I presume, you'd amassed a certain amount of savoir-faire at Lancaster and the systems, whereas for Maria, you'll have had to learn some of those new systems from scratch, won't you?
Yes.
You're both funded students, so you're both lucky enough, as they say. That's fantastic to have obtained. In Maria, in your case, it's Leverhulme funding, and Issy, you are through the NWC DTP, Northwest Consortium Doctoral Training Programme. Hurrah! The AHRC, isn't it? Arts and Humanities Research Council. So, okay, that's great in supporting you financially. Are there other benefits, if you like? What comes with the package? What is there by way of support and training? Maria, you're a little bit further down the line, aren't you?
I'm in my second year at the moment, and I'm part of the Material Social Futures Institute here at Lancaster. And I have found this experience of being attached to an institute, and obviously the funding body that is very kindly is funding us. I have gotten a lot of support in terms of both the weekly tutorials that we do, but also having a cohort that is very supportive and very interdisciplinary, which was the goal of me doing the PhD. I really enjoy the interdisciplinarity of things, and it's a very it's a new take on interdisciplinarity, because it tries to marry, if you will, the humanities and the material science. Which is great in my opinion, and we come in contact with some fields that we've never encountered before. And I have received a lot of support, both research-wise and in some cases even in the experience of doing a PhD on a more personal level, which I'm deeply grateful for.
That's very interesting. Issy, how's it looking for you?
Well, I'm a lot earlier on than Maria in my PhD. I've only just started my first year, but already I think I'm really kind of feeling the benefits of having this AHRC funding, because like as Maria said, having a cohort, having just sort of those networking opportunities is really useful. So being able to kind of meet other PhD students and kind of talk about their research and then thinking about how that could influence mine has been really super. There's been a number of workshops scheduled. We don't have weekly seminars like the Leverhulme students do, but we do have these optional seminars we can sign up to, both on sort of how to organize our research, how to present our research to others, how to, I don't know, do something a bit more offbeat, like start a podcast about your research. It's all useful stuff at the end of the day, and I think it all adds kind of another dimension to the PhD experience.
Yeah, I'm sure it does, and it's ever more important to to get your message out there and network. It's so crucial when doing research. So what does supervision? What does it actually mean? If anybody's watching this and thinking, well, what does that entail? Can you talk them through just some of the nuts and bolts? Maria, what does it mean?
It's at the end of the day, it is a relationship that you need to build on, and at every stage of your PhD, it takes a different kind of form and formation. It's very important for students to be very honest and open about what they're going through and communicate this to their supervisors. And obviously, this is a very interactive relationship where obviously the supervisor is there to offer their insight, and sometimes this can mean research-wise or personal support when things
yeah very true.
You're there like crying your eyes out if something is not going well. And I think it's very important for people to realize that it's a relationship that needs to be managed and taken care of in order for it to grow, and both parties to get the best out of the experience. So it's very important that you put some effort to control things of where they go, and it's a very important relationship in your academic career, so you need to nurture it.
Thank you. It's really important to know these things, isn't it? And you see, it's early days, isn't it? But I mean, you've got meetings, haven't you? Which
absolutely. We tend to meet sort of once a month or so, and it's I think. Sorry, Karen. No,
go ahead. I was going to say, presumably, as you go, you'll be writing more and having more feedback. But to begin with, it's more about absorbing and reading and thinking, is it? I mean, it was a long time ago that I did mine. So, I'm having meetings sort of roughly monthly. So I've had a whole 2 so far. Very exciting. But I think Maria's very right in saying that it's very sort of collaborative. Certainly in my undergrad, supervision very much consisted of my supervisor politely telling me I'm wrong and to go away and work on it a bit more. Whereas so far it's very much been more of an open discussion. It's more of it's less kind of they're your boss, and more it's they're there to kind of help you sort of gently along the right way. Think it through together.
It's very much been exactly. So it's been through my reading, and then I've been set my writing to be done by December. So it's wonderful.
And how's it looking? I mean, here we are in the middle of this pandemic. What would you single out something that's very different, or is it actually just similar to what you did before, but in a different mode? How difficult has it been to do this PhD whilst all around COVID-19 is raging? Maria?
In terms of the actual workings of it, the PhD is very much working at home, if you wish so. Personally, I did really enjoy the interaction on campus, and this is something I do miss, I have to admit. And the physical presence puts things in a whole different perspective. Because I think it's really important to be as close to your academic community as possible. But on that note, I have to say that my experience working from home during the pandemic with Lancaster has been great. I've felt that I had a lot of support, and as someone who has contracted COVID-19, I have to say that the experience has been amazing in terms of support. I've gotten a lot of support. I never felt alone or not cared for, which I'm obviously extremely grateful for. Good. My university.
Good. I'm really pleased to hear that. And you're looking in very good health now.
Yes, yes.
Thank goodness.
It was. I hardly had any symptoms. I was one of the very, very lucky ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good. I'm very glad to hear that. Issy, not much to compare it with, although you'll have finished your last degree with the pandemic all about.
Yes, so it's become almost a bit sort of second nature at the time. I think postgraduates are perhaps a bit more fortunate than undergraduates in that a lot of our work can be done from home. We don't really have many, set hours that we need to show up to. We don't have many sort of obligations to attend on campus. And I think the university has been very good in allowing lots of study spaces to remain open. So I personally haven't really felt like it's impacted my research too much, as I can still access the library. I can still study on campus.
Oh yes.
It's all the basics are there.
Good. I'm glad to hear there's no impediment. Well, I'm going to ask you what the current title or what the working titles of your PhDs are. So perhaps I'll just finish on that. Maria, what do you have a title? Can you
I have a title. I'm sure it's going to change because I change it every month or so. I can never decide on something. The title right now is Fueling the Narrative, an Archaeology of Energy Materials in Lancashire.
See what you did there with fueling the narrative. Very clever. Issy, have you got a working title?
My working title, as of yet, what I promised the AHRC I'd write, I'm not sure if it's going to end up like that, is The Body Divine, Constructing Identity in Women's Surrealism Through Mythological Imagery.
Wow. Brilliant. Well, they both sound absolutely fascinating, and we'll be getting snapshots of them, various work in progress seminars. So,
of course.
Can I just thank you both very much for sharing some insights with us this afternoon, and I hope it all continues to go very well. Thanks very much.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you so much.